Let's start our first lecture on theory of machines, or some will say it as kinematics of machinery. Theory of machines or kinematics of machinery. Fine. This is a very vast subject. There are so many things to say, but I would like to tell you about 4-bar mechanism. 4-bar mechanism and what are the inversions in it, what is called crank, what is called connecting rod, what is called cylinder, what is so called piston. I will tell you in detail about this so that you can get a clear cut clarity on piston cylinder arrangement and all that. Fine, without wasting of our time, let's start the video. Fine. Fine, this is my 4-bar mechanism. This is my 4-bar mechanism and this is my fixed link. If it is fixed link, fine, this is my input link, this is my output link. And input link is also called as input link, is also called as a driving link, because this is driving the entire mechanism, right? So it is called as a driving link. The thing which is giving output, the link which is giving output is the driven link. This is driven and this is driving link. Is that clear? Now what is this? This is called as, this link is called as coupler. This is coupler. Fine. Now I think you had heard about some double crank mechanisms, crank slider mechanisms, crank rock mechanisms. What it is called? Which link causes this, all these? Which link to fix if you want to get a rocker mechanism and all that? Let's learn without wasting of our time. Now if I fix my first link, first in the sense link S is fixed. I forgot to tell you what is S and this. Suppose this is my mechanism thing, this is my mechanism. Now this is fixed link, that is S in the sense the smallest link. I fixed my smallest link here, and my, suppose this is L, this is L3 and this is L4. This is L3 and that is L4. Now there are 4 possible things, right? First one is fixing of S. Fixing of S, fixing of opposite to S. Third one is fixing of L3 or L4. This is fine. Now what happens if I fix my this thing S link, that is smallest link? What happens if I fix my smallest link? What happens if I fix my opposite to the smallest link? Suppose if I fix a link S, it is so called as double crank mechanism. It is so called as double crank mechanism. If I fix my link adjacent to S, it is called as crank rocker mechanism. Crank rocker mechanism. If S becomes coupler, in the sense opposite to S link is fixed, then it is called as double rocker mechanism or rocker mechanism. Rocker mechanism. Is that fine? Now there is a law so called Grashof law. Grashoff's law. What it is saying is, Grashof gave a condition to form a 4-bar linked chain. That is, S plus L must be less or equal to L3 plus L4. At first I said that this is L3 in the sense these two, L in the sense longest link, S in the sense shortest link. In the same way, if summation of smallest and largest links must be greater than sum of the other two links, or else must be equal to the other two links. Okay, if L is greater than L3 plus L4 and S in the sense smallest link, it cannot form a closed chain. That is, it cannot form a 4-bar mechanism. It must satisfy satisfy these two conditions. In the sense S plus L greater than L plus 4, or S plus L equal to L3 plus L4. If it satisfies any of those conditions, then only it can form 4-bar mechanism. Now we will see the condition so called S plus L must be greater than, that is L3 plus L4. We have studied that Grashof's law must be satisfied to form a 4-bar linkage. If this is the case, this is known as double rocker mechanism. Without wasting of our time, let's go to inversions. For going to inversions, consider a 4-bar mechanism. Our first inversion will be little complex thing. Fine. This is called as connecting rod. This is very important. This is called as crank. This is piston or slider. Let us determine the links. First, determining the links in COM is very important. The links which are fixed at the ground, how many links we fixed at the ground will be considered it as only one link. So that for that I just wrote here 1 and 1, and this is 2, this is 3, and here this is 4. Piston is 4. Shorter link slider. It forms slider crank. Forms slider crank mechanism. Shorter link is crank. This is called as slider crank mechanism. This is used in piston engines, that is IC engines, internal combustion engines, in compressors and all that. Slider crank mechanism is a very important mechanism in mechanical engineering. Now it is used in steam engines, pumps, compressors, etc. Now let's go to second inversion. Second inversion, if the crank is fixed, if we fix our crank. If crank is fixed, it is called as second inversion. This mechanism is used in steam engines to show the piston. Fine, let's go for third inversion. Now here we have to fix our connecting rod. Then now here we comes for crank and slotted lever mechanism, quick return motion mechanism, and now oscillation cylinder mechanism. And crank and slotted lever mechanism is used for crank and slotted lever mechanism is used for cutting the tools, or it is mainly used for shaper and slotted machines. Now fourth inversion is if slider is fixed. If slider is fixed, that is the fourth inversion. That is so many of the engines. Thank you. With these words I would like to conclude my lecture. If you like the video, please like it. If you have any comments on the video, just drop a comment in the comment box. Subscribe and share my video. Thank you.